The Power Africa initiative has sparked a dramatic change in the number of homes with electricity in sub-Saharan Africa. The program coordinator says it's on track to reach its goal of 60 million connections by 2030. U.S. companies are taking part and have some star power backing them up. VOA correspondent Mariama Diallo reports.
It's sobering news from the World Bank. Households in sub-Saharan Africa have the lowest rate of working electricity in the world. Former U.S. President Barack Obama vowed to change that and launched the Power Africa initiative 5 years ago.
We're going to start by investing $7 billion in U.S. government resources.
Fast forward to today, Power Africa coordinator Andrew Hertzkowitz says they've made a lot of progress.
We've helped 9,500 megawatts of deals reach financial close. Over 50 million people have access to electricity for the first time.
Speaking at Washington's Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies, Hertzkowitz says Power Africa is on track to establish a total of 60 million electrical connections in homes and businesses by 2030. The initiative has more than 100 partners, including a number of U.S. companies that will make a lot of money helping to power Africa.
There are companies like Rickley Hydro in Ohio that are selling parts and components for small mini hydro projects. You've got companies that are selling all kinds of parts and components that are being exported to Africa.
Johannes Erpelanian, director of the Initiative for Sustainable Energy Policy at Johns Hopkins, invited Hertzkowitz to speak at the school. He says Africa has a ways to catch up to the rest of the world.
So if you look at, for example, India, the electrification rate is now approaching 90% and it keeps climbing. But if you look at sub-Saharan Africa, we see a different pattern.
He believes progress in Africa isn't happening fast enough, something U.S. entrepreneur Thomas Maibatat, who has a solar energy business in his home country of Eritrea, is working to change.
We start with small solar, small lights for families, and then they grow out of it, and now they want big ones. So Africa is going to lighten up, that we know. The thing is, how do you go about it in the best and the smartest way?
But Hertzkowitz says red tape, politics, and fickle governments have at times hampered the Power Africa initiative.
The biggest challenge is when a government changes the rules of the game. So a company's been negotiating for a few years for a deal, and then suddenly, a government hears about something else and wants something different and then wants to renegotiate.
He says that discourages potential investors. In Washington, Mariama Diallo, VOA News.